Virginity auctions. Rosie Reed was an 18-year-old struggling student in London.
This is essentially what girls be doing with their OnlyFans now, bro. As soon as they hit 18, I'm 18, down bad, OnlyFans.
Down in Tennessee.
Come on, my.
That individual was a 44-year-old engineer who was a divorced father of two named Tom. Tom has not been heard from since.
Yeah, Tom, I got you though, Tom. Tom, hold on, bro. I got you, bro.
Go easy on the young ones, my man.
Yeah, Tom, you a freaky ass, bro. I know what you are, bro. Tom, I know exactly what you are, Tom. I can't prove it because you're under legal jurisdiction, but Tom, I know exactly what you are, bro. And there's a reason why we haven't heard from him since. This video is called The Most Insane Things Ever Sold Online by Wavy Web Surf. Let's go see the most craziest things ever sold online. I'm not gonna lie, the craziest thing I sold online is, you know, I was about to say some crazy shit, but it's not even worth it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a changed person, bro. I'm not gonna talk about how I sold butt online.
From divine grilled cheeses selling for thousands of dollars to offering your forehead space to the highest bidder and all the way to auctioning off your virginity to a complete stranger.
Is that not just isn't that prostitution?
Today we'll be exploring some of the most ludicrous auctions, sales, and sometimes illicit transactions that have ever taken place on the internet. And I can think of no better place to start than the legend of Cheetozard.
Cheetozard. Child, I've been praying for years that I get like a defected like Cheeto or Cheez-It, like a Cheez-It that's shaped like a penis or something. Bro, that would change my life, bro. That would change my life.
Sometime in late 2018, two brothers were on a road trip in the United States when they stopped at a convenience store for snacks and refreshments. Like a true seasoned snack connoisseur, the younger brother makes his way to the chips and grabs him a bag of flaming hot Cheetos. Great choice. On his way to the register, he can't help but notice the colorfully obnoxious array of scratch-off lottery tickets on display at the counter. He ignores the temptation, pays for his Cheetos, and walks out. But unbeknownst to him, despite not playing the tickets, he had just hit the jackpot. When the brothers return to the car, they dig in.
Imagine you accidentally eat that by accident, like you're not looking, you accidentally. That could be crazy. Any of us could have got a Cheetozard or a Chinus or like a Chigina, you know? But if you ate it, you would have never known.
To their junk food smorgasbord, and about halfway into the bag, our flamin' hot enjoyer makes a remarkable discovery. From the depths of the Cheeto bag, he pulls a flaming hot Cheeto with a striking resemblance to that of a dragon. But not just any dragon. Given its red powdery hue and particular shape, well, the thing looked awfully like Charizard. There have been many instances of Cheetos looking like things. Gorillas, Bigfoot, even Jesus. But I'll be damned if a Cheeto has ever looked more like anything than this Cheeto looked like a Charizard. It's got the horns, the stubby little arms, wings, the thick hind legs, the tail, and
how did like this happen? Do they be like splicing Cheetos together, or like I don't know how Cheeto manufacturing goes. Like, but how does stuff like this happen?
A little flame plume to boot.
Like when you see a weird shaped chip.
But for RNG Cheeto assembly line luck, this is a 1 in a billion pull. The brothers were very much amused by the finding and the chip's uncanny resemblance to the iconic fire-flying type Pokemon. It seemed like a pretty rare discovery, and the younger brother very quickly decided that he was going to save the chip as a keepsake. That was until his older brother, who was also enamored with the Cheeto Charizard, well, he made an offer. That being, I'll trade you some Power Rangers toys for it. You got a deal. Road trip goes on without a hitch. Make the trade when they get home, and that's that. But the story of what would become known as Cheetozard is far from over, and will soon become rich with internet tomfoolery. After receiving Cheetozard in the trade with his brother, he went on to execute his covert master plan, that being sell the one-of-one Cheetozard for quick cash on eBay. It's not exactly known how many offers he got for it, but there was a fair amount of interest in Cheetozard. And we actually do know who purchased it. First and Goal Collectibles, a sport memorabilia and trading card outfit based in Canton, Georgia.
Isn't that crazy that will pay money for a chip that like an oddly shaped chip. So if I get a chip and I just shape it like a like I don't know, a butt cheek, there's somebody out there that will pay $300 for that bit, bro. Are you dead ass?
Were the lucky winners of the Big Brothers Cheetozard eBay auction, reportedly purchasing the one-of-a-kind corn chip for $350 sometime in 2019. It seems initially First and Goal's purchasing of Cheetozard was more of a joke than anything. They sealed Cheetozard within a custom laminated Pokemon card that bore its name. Pretty slick looking if I do say so myself. Store staff and customers thought it was hilarious, but there really wasn't anybody, knocking down the doors to buy the thing. It was more of a conversation piece. After the initial laughs wore off from the
just for like me to motherfucker step on that
Cheetozard, the card was put in a safe amongst other hard-to-sell collectibles and was, for the time, forgotten. Yet this was merely a hibernation period before this enigmatic card's final evolution. And with Cheetozard asleep for now, a brief message for you. In the online marketplace, you'll find a lot of
sponsor. This wavy has like 20 sponsors, bro.
Now we return to the Cheeto.
To be honest, if somebody gave me 50 get this and I had this Cheeto, I'd just eat it because 50 get this, like technically, like that's like the same thing. It's like it's just, but that would suck to eat it. That would suck to eat it though. While
preserved in its hermetically sealed chamber, the outside world was changing dramatically.
Why are you saying someone do it like I had the Cheeto there to eat?
COVID hits, and you had millions of people stuck at home, bored, looking for stuff to do. And for many, that meant blowing all of their money on collectibles, specifically Pokemon cards. The market skyrockets and news articles were popping up weekly highlighting stories of mint condition, shadowless Charizards, some of the rarest and most coveted of all Pokemon collectibles, selling for hundreds of thousands of dollars. This mania would persist for several years.
Holy
and while the
a house for a Charizard card? You can find a really nice house in Detroit for this type of money, bro. What the bro?
Market has come down to earth in recent times. A preserved rare Charizard like this can still bring in close to $100,000. But this isn't the only mint condition form of Charizard that had been increasing in value. It's now 2024 in our story, and we're back at First and Goal Collectibles. A store employee is doing a deep digging of sorts into their hoard of collectibles, and stumbles across a long-forgotten trinket. The enigmatic Cheetozard had been rediscovered. Staff got another laugh out of it, but they wondered, given all that had happened over the last several years in the world of Pokemon collectibles, could this thing be worth something now? The folks at First and Goal decided, hell, let's give this guy another shot, and they made plans to auction Cheetozard off. But before listing it, they decided to do a little bit of marketing. On April 6, 2024, for
500K likes, these about to sell this for some crazy money. Let me see what it costs first, bro, but them other who sold it for $350 about to be thrown.
First and Goal Collectibles would post a reel to Instagram showcasing Cheetozard in all of its glory, posting the caption, "Cheetozard continues. We've had the Cheetozard for about 5 years now, and we totally forgot we had it until cleaning out the safe. Loads of offers have come in. If interested, private message us." New post with the home/label posted. To their shock, the post went absolutely viral, amassing over 500,000 likes, and the video was being shared across the internet as intrigue and interest brewed. Over the next several months, they would release more images of Cheetozard in its card form, raising the mystique of the card even further. And finally, in February of 2025, they put him up for auction on Golden's online collectible marketplace. A cutthroat bidding war ensued. The starting bid price was set at $250.
I'm assuming somebody gonna buy that for like $1,000, bro. I'm already seeing it.
$50 on February 10th. And over the course of several weeks, this amount would increase dramatically.
How dramatic?
Over 60 bids were issued for this item. By February 20th, the bid was at $1,500. By the 24th, it was at $5,000. That bid would eventually be doubled on the 28th to $10,400. And then things got truly absurd on March 1st when the bid crossed the $30,000
for a Cheeto
mark. Within a day, that would be doubled again to $62,000.
Gang, if I was the brother, I'd throw the up. I'm not gonna. I'd be throwing the up right now if I was the brother, bro. To sell the Cheeto for 300, bro, for it to be resold for what 60? What millionaire has money is just buying Cheetos, man?
Dollars until finally a winning bid for $72,000 for Cheetozard, going once, going twice, sold at March 2nd at 1:42 a.m. 72K. Wow. Combined with a buyer's premium, the total sell price was $87,840.
Just because that made a Cheeto looking Charizard by accident or on purpose, and some random brothers found it. It led to an 87K purchase. Yeah, if I was the brothers, bro, I'd be mad at it. I'd be punching the air. Like I would literally wake up in cold sweats off this moment. I would never forget this moment in my life.
The news of Cheetozard's ludicrous selling price broke the internet for a day or two, with commenters baffled, amazed, and most importantly, humored. "This sums up 2025, commented one person. "If I was on death row, I'd want this to be my final meal," said another. "Good thing I didn't pull it because I would have ate it in seconds." Now you might be wondering who would purchase such a thing. Golden declined to comment on this matter, just saying that there was a lot of interest in the card. It really could have been anybody who purchased it. Though that being said, many speculate the purchaser of Cheetozard may very well have been the company that minted it, Frito-Lay. The senior vice president of PepsiCo, which owns Frito-Lay, actually commented in regard to the Cheetozard sale, stating, quote, "Cheetos are crafted with individual care and designed to be unique, and the Cheetozard is no exception. It's a long-standing tradition for fans to search for fun, interesting shapes and sizes inside every Cheetos bag. And we always love to see what they find." Some theorize that Frito-Lay may have purchased Cheetozard and would reveal this later as a part of an elaborate promotional stunt for their Cheeto brand. Or even if they did, maybe they would keep it anonymous, and the idea was to put it in customers' heads like, hey, if you buy Cheetos, you might find something rare and you can make money off of it. It would certainly be a way to get people to buy your snack.
Yeah,
at the end of day, though, this Frito-Lay conspiracy is nothing more than conjecture. We have no idea who actually purchased the legendary Cheetozard. The fate of Cheetozard in the present day is something...
This just goes to show we're not going to make it as a species, man. Like, what the fuck? Niggas really paid 72 bands, bro, for a hot Cheeto that looks like Charizard. The nigga who accidentally steps on this is going to be heartbroken. It's going to be devastated, bro. ...of a mystery. If you own this thing, leave a comment. Hopefully its new owner preserves it well. And as for the quality of the investment itself, the jury's still out on that one. Whatever the case, you have to wonder if the brothers who initially discovered Cheetozard are feeling like the guys who sold their bitcoins a little bit too early. Well, at least they have the priceless memory of being the ones who found it. And gave his brother the Cheetozard for Power Rangers figurine, man.
Continuing on in our exploration, we move to another odd food item that raked in thousands in an online auction. The legend of the Virgin Mary grilled cheese sandwich. Back in 1994, a 42-year-old working from home jewelry designer by the name of Diana Dizer of Hollywood, Florida, was going about her normal day when she decided to cook herself a little grilled cheese.
That grilled cheese look good, Chad. That grilled cheese look good. That's a good looking grilled cheese right there. That's good cheese. Yeah, I haven't had a grilled cheese in a while, bro. When's the last time you had one, bro?
Sandwich.
What's up, tube? What's up, man? Oh, that don't hit like that. Yo, what's up, guys? Hey, bro, hey, bro, just come to Twitch Blue Ride right here. Follow up. We're about to hit 200K. Please follow up and stuff like that. Come to the stream. If you don't watch streams, I didn't ask. Come to the streams and stuff like that. And then there's a gaming channel and a live channel. Come follow the live channel too. And then you can get back to your video and stuff like that. But just go ahead and do that, and it's in the link down below. And go ahead and do that.
A little grilled cheese sandwich. After preparing it to her liking, she sat down and took a bite. And to her shock, when looking at the crispy bread of the Sammy, she saw a face staring back at her. Inspecting further, Diana couldn't believe her eyes. It was the Virgin Mary.
You're looking that deep? Diane might be big as because what the fuck you mean you talking about something? I think I've recognized that. Like you over here looking all intellectually deep into the goddamn sandwich, just eat the sandwich, man.
the mother of Jesus Christ himself on that bread. Quote, it kind of scared the shit out of me at first, but now that I realize how unique it is, I wanted to share it with the world. Diana stopped what she was doing and immediately made efforts to preserve the holy grilled cheese, taking the sandwich and placing it in a plastic box along with some cotton balls. And according to the woman, this sealed sandwich would remain in her possession. More specifically,
that's not gonna get moldy. I mean, I think mold happens due to like air getting in food, but like that's not gonna get moldy.
Specifically on her bedside nightstand for the next 10 years, a protective artifact that never once grew a single spore of mold. Okay. The woman believed the sandwich had divine properties. After 10 years had gone by and the sandwich remaining relatively flawless in its integrity, Diana decided it was time to share the sandwich with the world and called up the Miami Herald to set up an interview. Now, at first, there was much hesitation to hear her out on this blessed grilled cheese. People thought that she was some kind of religious nut. But when the sandwich was seen by others in the media, it went completely viral. And we're talking 2004, pre-YouTube and most social media viral. The Virgin Mary grilled cheese gained its legendary reputation on the many decentralized message boards that were around at the time. It is to be noted that in 2004, something else was going on that may have bolstered the interest in a grilled cheese that seemingly has the Virgin Mary on it. A movie called Passion of the Christ. You might have heard about it. If you were alive when Passion of the Christ came out, you might remember that it got a lot of people fired up about Jesus and Christianity again. Everyone was going to church again, and there was this crazy populist.
This movie made people want to go to church? Like, was the movie really like that?
Enthusiasm surrounding Christianity and a fair bit of delusion going on as well. I mean, people were looking for a sign, you know what I'm saying? People were high on Christ, and a Virgin Mary grilled cheese, well, it might as well just be a sign from God. The sandwich's enigmatic status only grew. Diana's holy artifact got coverage from late-night television. Leno and Letterman both discussed it. The internet was abuzz talking about it. You couldn't avoid this thing.
She's so different, bro. I would have crushed that shit. Chad, who knows how much designs have been in our grilled cheeses in our life, and we haven't looked at it because we ate it. Bro, that would have been gone so fast.
It was only a matter of time before collectors started calling. With the Holy Grail remaining rather elusive, some considered this Virgin Mary grilled cheese the next best thing, and were willing to pay Diana big money to get their hands on the famous sandwich. Despite having a deep and personal connection with the grilled cheese and sleeping next to it for 10 years, Diana was happy to oblige them for the right price. Eventually, in 2004, the sandwich would wind up on eBay, giving artifact hunters a chance to bid on and claim the crusty item for themselves. To say the auction was popular would be a massive understatement. The starting bid was at $9.99, then it went to $40, then to $80, and drastically increased to $2,000, and then to $20. Oh, Jesus, how high is this thing gonna go? Uh-oh, eBay steps in. Apparently, eBay, never really seeing an auction this bizarre, mistakenly suspected that it was fraudulent or a joke listing, and they abruptly removed it. They communicated with the woman. "Do you actually plan on selling this grilled cheese, or is this some kind of joke?" She replies, "Yes, I plan on selling my Virgin Mary grilled cheese to the highest bidder." Those following the listing were on the edge of their seats awaiting eBay's response. eBay's statement: "After looking at it a second time, there's nothing to indicate that the seller isn't willing to give up this grilled cheese sandwich to the highest bidder. We're going to allow it to..."
I know this is old, but Chad, they said we would have flying cars by now, man. Where's that at, bro? They said flying cars, bro.
The bidding war for the grilled cheese Virgin Mary was back on in full force. By the end of the battle, a total of 27 bids had been cast, with the listing itself receiving over 1.7 million page views. The highest bid and winning offer, placed November 15th of 2004, was a whopping $28,000. The purchaser of this holy object was, rather ironically, a party of sinful nature. A casino website known as goldenpalace.com. Apparently, Golden Palace used this as an opportunity for publicity, purchasing the Virgin Mary grilled cheese to raise awareness about their brand. Golden Palace executives would later tell the press that they were willing to even go higher with the price. As much as it took, they said. By any means necessary, this company was gonna get that grilled cheese. Quote, "It's a part of pop culture that's immediately and widely recognizable. We knew right away we wanted to have it." After the sale, people asked Diana why she thought it was so valuable to her.
Say that grilled cheese is 10 years old, right? And you get a hold of that grilled cheese. How much do I need to pay you to eat that 10-year-old grilled cheese? How much do I need to pay you, bro? Because I'm not gonna lie, we can make something work here. We could definitely make something work here.
That answer was simple. Quote, "I would like all people to know that I do believe that this is the Virgin Mary."
10 billion.
The money go at smoking on gelato.
Mother of God, unquote. The divine sandwich was delivered safely in a protected metal briefcase. And it is to note that the casino also ended up paying Diana an extra $6,000 for the pan she cooked the sandwich in. A blessed accessory, you could call it. Diana was handed a large plastic check, and the actual money was wired into her bank account on November 16th of 2004. She said, "I'm numb right now. I can't comprehend that this is all happening." The company wined and dined Dyer and her husband, taking them to Las Vegas for an official sandwich transfer ceremony. Golden Palace had a lot of plans for this thing. The casino commented, "We'd like to send Diana and the sandwich on a world tour. We think our customers around the world would really get a kick out of seeing the
I give y'all 100K to eat that motherfucking sandwich right now, 10-year-old
sandwich at the Taj Mahal, at Red Square."
Kerr. Oh, that's his last name? Is it Nick or is it Steve?
At the Eiffel Tower. They were going on a worldwide publicity tour with the damn thing. In the wake of this ridiculous purchase, there were many who posed the obvious question of how did the sandwich not spoil after 10 years? And, you know, how do you know she didn't just make it 3 weeks ago or something and is acting like it's older than it is? When Golden Palace was asked if they had been given a certificate of authenticity, they had this to say. "We are talking to a couple of food decay specialists to try to figure out how this sandwich stayed in such good shape over the years. And when they were asked what would happen if they found out the sandwich was only like 10 weeks old and, you know, not authentic, they said, we don't think that's the case. But if it is, it's still a magical sandwich." Now, if we're being honest, depending on how well done the grilled cheese was, plus the fact she clearly kept it encased in cotton balls, which would constantly absorb the moisture and keep mold down, I do think it's plausible that you could keep something like this for a decade. If you keep something dry enough, it's not going anywhere. Also, you got to keep in mind the sliced store-bought bread options in 1994, very highly processed. And you know this woman used a craft.
Basically, bro, that got like crack in it.
Single to make this thing. So it's pretty much entirely manufactured synthetic food from the start. She might as well have just made a Big Mac. It'll keep. Whatever the case, Diana was happy to get her payday. But from time to time, she longs for the company of her beloved grilled
gang, you're paid. Let the Mary go, bro. You're paid, gang.
I'll miss her.
I miss the company of the sandwich. That's a Rick Ross quote.
Greatly, because she was a comfort to me in times when it wasn't so easy. Diana Dizer. Strange Cheetozard Cheetos and sacred grilled cheeses are examples of bizarre yet tangible items sold on the internet. What you must realize, though, is this market goes beyond things that you can physically hold in your hand. People have sold parts of their body. Welcome to the world of body tattoo advertising. In the Rock is...
I'm not gonna hold. I seen selling meat online before, bro. It's not nothing new that I'm not surprised at this.
Cultural landscape of the early 2000s, marketers and advertisers were willing to play fast.
What? What was that?
In the raucous cultural landscape of the early 2000s, marketers and advertisers were willing to play fast and loose when it came to bringing attention to their brands. And in this
life is short game. Yo, ads back then was tweaking, I'm not gonna lie. There's somebody called it ads back then, but ads was tweaking. They did not have no CCC regulations, bro. What the f, bro?
Edgy era, you saw the rise of a controversial marketing ploy.
Xbox? What the f they gotta do with Xbox?
Tattoo advertising. Essentially, a brand would pay someone who was desperate for money to get a tattoo of said brand
GrownUpGeek.com, helping you learn new stuff
on their body in a highly visible area to cause public controversy and thus attention. And you might be surprised to find that even massive corporations have got in on this trend. In 2003, Toyota paid 40 willing individuals to get temporary tattoos on their foreheads, which promoted their new Scion TC car. The tattoo included the vehicle's name and price. These participants were stationed at Times Square in New York City and were compensated $11 an hour while they were deployed, which is a pretty nice paycheck for 2003, by the way. It was a guerrilla marketing tactic targeting young adults. How successful it was, I can't really say for sure. But needless to say, this approach was very much of the times, and it would only be a matter of time before someone would raise the stakes. I mean, a temporary tattoo? Come on, that's pussy. I'd like to introduce you all to the starlet of this story.
Biz about to get a permanent tattoo on her forehead. Yo, you're never getting a job, man. Especially in this economy, she's cooked. You'll never, ever get a job unless you're wearing hats or beanies for the rest of your life.
Caroline Carrie Smith of Salt Lake City, Utah. Carrie found the payouts from these temporary tattoo marketing employees enticing and came up with an idea. How about I raise the stakes and offer up my forehead space for a permanent tattoo? Yep, Carrie wanted to become a walking billboard. Now, this woman was financially struggling. She needed some cash. Carrie had recently experienced a great deal of turmoil in her personal life, going through a divorce, and not long after, she lost multiple family members, including her beloved sister, in a car crash that happened on April 18th of 2005. And on top of all of
this is like some midlife crisis. I'm sorry to hear that about her family and her divorce, but this is like what we would call a midlife crisis, right? Do y'all feel like if y'all was down bad enough and you ain't really give a f about like everything, you would just do some like this if you could make some money and you're down bad? I feel like some down bad would. I'm not that down bad, so maybe I can't feel that, but I just feel like this is crazy.
That she was a single mother. Carrie needed a come up, and apparently selling her forehead online was the solution to her woes. After discussing the logistics of the matter with her at-the-time boyfriend, Carrie decided to go for it and auctioned her forehead space on eBay, with the buy-it-now price asking for $10,000, but bids were accepted. Due to the bizarre nature of this listing, it went viral almost immediately, attracting over 27,000.
That's so weird. Well, I guess is selling feet online now, right? So I mean, I guess I can't be like selling forehead is that crazy, but like we might need to start some new. Let's start belly buttons, man. I'm gonna start selling my belly button online, bro.
1,000 hits and had about 1,000 watchers on it. The bidding war started healthily enough, with it reaching close to $1,000. But seemingly out of nowhere, it was sold. Carrie's forehead real estate had been snatched up for its $10,000 asking price by none other than GoldenPalace.com. They were back at it again. Yes, that's right. The infamous purchasers of the Virgin Mary grilled cheese had laid claim to Carrie's forehead, and they had plans of tattooing their website URL smack dab on her noggin. Carrie had actually received multiple offers from other companies, but seeing Golden Palace had a track record for following through with their outrageous offers, she went with them. Carrie also explained that the
Golden whatever.com, if y'all had like KSI or Sala, y'all could have put that 5 times over, man. No funnies, bro. Y'all could have really teed up then, bro. Y'all gotta really think about it from a money perspective. You need to get somebody with more real estate.
Money she received would be used to give her son a better education. Quote, "For all the sacrifices everyone makes, this is a very small one. It's a small sacrifice to build a better future for my son. I really want to do this. To everyone else, it seems like a stupid thing to do. To me, 10,000 is like 1 million. I only live once and I'm doing it for my son." After receiving the money, Carrie had to execute her side of the bargain. I went to see a tattoo artist by the name of Don Browse on June 29th, 2005. It's reported that this artist actually spent several hours trying to convince Carrie not to go through with the tacky-looking tattoo. But the woman remained steadfast in her conviction to defile her forehead for cash. So they got to work. It feels like someone is taking a pin and just stabbing you with it, Carrie told her son, who was anxiously watching the whole process.
They had to have the strongest migraine after this.
She then asked the tattoo artist, "Will it go numb?" "It'll go as numb as your brain. Mr. Browse replied. My brain is already known, Carrie said, laughing.
On everybody's
and with that,
we would
the deal was done. One of, if not the first permanent casino site forehead tattoo was etched. Glorious, don't you think? The publicity from this story continued to run rampant on the internet and in the media. Carrie got the nickname Forehead Goldie. She became a little living meme for a moment there. A living meme that got paid. And seeing how Carrie got a payday, it wouldn't be long before others put some skin in the game. Soon others were following in Carrie's steps, including a Canadian.
Yeah, this looked like an espada, bro. This was already cooked beforehand. He had to do what he had to do, bro. This looked like a Kotsky member.
Man who went by the name Brent, the human pincushion Moffat. At the time, Moffat was attempting to break records with the number of tattoos and piercings on his body. He too sold his forehead space for a permanent Golden Palace decal for an undisclosed price. There was also a Scottish woman named Angel Brammer who auctioned off advertisement space on her sized 42 double G breasts, though this one wasn't permanent. This marketing tactic
got impact font on her chest, bro. Big ass font, bro, on her chest, bro.
Would fall out of vogue eventually. But one must wonder what became of Carrie Smith.
What happened
to
the
$10,000 boon earned from desecrating her forehead pay off? Did she regret her decision? Updates regarding this woman's personal life after the fact are few and far between, but there are some developments to report. In 2018, there would be an update. According to reports, she did actually use most of the $10,000 payday to fund a private education for her son. Good for him. Though it seems her financial struggles were never fully remedied by this. One Facebook post claimed that she was living in the basement of...
Not saying 10,000 is like little money or nothing, but it's like as an adult, bro, collectively 10,000 will only get you so far, man. So, I mean, she needed that money right then and there, but like long term, wouldn't do anything for you.
One Facebook post claimed that she was living in the basement of her father's house after running dry on funds again. Though the silver lining here is that she wouldn't actually have to live the remainder of her life with this gaudy tattoo on her forehead. Turns out, eventually, Golden Palace allegedly stepped up and paid to have Carrie's tattoo removed at her request. So it actually wasn't so permanent after all. While Carrie's gambit did pay off in some way, it wasn't a life-changing solution she had initially hoped for. But all things considered, I reckon this could have gone far worse. Auctioning off your forehead space is one thing, but have you ever considered selling off one of your own family members online?
Family member slavery before GTA 6?
People have attempted this on numerous occasions, and while most...
I would have sold my little brother, man. Y'all should have just said that's a thing, bro. I would have sold my little brother, but like way back in the day. Y'all should have just told me, bro.
People have attempted this on numerous occasions, and while most times it's a joke, sometimes these listings have criminal implications. On the more light-hearted side of things, you have the September 2016 case of Simon O'Kane, a motorcycle enthusiast and father of two from Wakefield, Yorkshire, who ended up auctioning off his used wife on eBay. His purpose for doing so? Well, he said it was because of her whining and nagging at him every day that he got
sold his wife for
off work. In the eBay listing, he referred to his wife in a similar fashion that you'd see somebody trying to sell off an old dirt bike. The man wrote, "For sale. One wife, not new, has been used, still got some good miles left in her. Reason for selling. I've had my fill and there has to be someone out there that is more deserving of her time than me. Oh dear God, please let there be." Good points. Body work and paint work still in decent shape and has some skills in the kitchen. Bad points. Often makes this noise that cannot be silenced unless you order brand new shiny parts of metal. Sometimes them skills in the kitchen result in you ending up in hospital. All in all, not a bad model of the... I'm sure some lucky guy will get lots of use.
Yo, this guy hates his wife, bro. Or I guess his ex-wife now. He hates her, bro. There's some dude who's seeing this and is definitely thinking about copping. I guarantee somebody probably like inquired on this if eBay didn't take it down.
Offers welcome. May consider a part exchange for a younger model. Terms and conditions. Once bought, you cannot return ever. When the wife, who worked as a beauty therapist, found out that she was put up for sale on eBay, she was absolutely fuming.
Right there,
Everyone at work saw it and were laughing their heads off. Not only did he put me up for sale, but he used such a bad photo. Though the joke took an interesting turn when the bids started slipping in. It was safe to say his used wife was a hot commodity, with bids going as high as $65,000.
Yo, that goes to show how many weirdos there are out there, bro. 57 was willing to buy this woman, bro. For what reason? We will never know. But that just goes to show how many weird is out there, bro. This is dead putting money on a human being. I don't know how much 65 pounds is, like 65k pounds is, but like, right.
With bids going as high as 65,000 pounds for the used wife. She was going for BMW prices. Plus, there was some interesting commentary regarding the offering as well. Simon reflects on some of this chatter. There were a few general pervy guys asking for more pictures, but most of the responses to the ad were hilarious. The best one was, "Has she raced or rallied?" We both like the guy looking to exchange her for a camel, and the guy trying to work out how much bacon he could get out of her really got us howling. Okay, that's just like kind of disturbing, dude. Now, luckily for Simon, his wife had a good sense of humor and took everything on the chin. The couple were able to laugh about it together, and as you might expect, eBay did eventually delist their joke listing. Upon its removal, Simon said, "I was disappointed the listing was taken down, mainly because I wanted to see how high it would go, but it was for a laugh, so I wasn't actually gutted. It wasn't like I'd actually let
somebody gonna pay 100 bands, bro. Somebody was really willing to take it there.
Someone have her. She's too good. I'd like to say I'd have spent the cash on my dream garage and a bunch of lads' holidays out on the bikes. But the reality is I'd probably spent it on getting her back. I think they'd have been a lot of groveling and a lot of handbags bought. Either that or I'd be spending the money on security from my wife." Now, I wanted to share with you all that story as an example to showcase the limits of how far you should take a joke like this without risking a human trafficking inquiry. You don't want to end up like this next boneheaded couple. A more disturbing version of this sort of auction came all the way back in May of 2008, where a German couple put up their 8-month-old son on eBay. Pictures and all.
Dang, how the do you like have a child and then 8 months later you're just like, man, this little bro, and then you just like want to sell them on eBay? Like within 8 months, bro, you ain't even give bro a chance.
With the asking price of €1, stating the child was 28 inches long and really too loud for its parents. It was obviously a joke, but making your infant child the butt of it and sharing the baby's photo to potential creeps online, an absolutely insane move. This listing resulted in German authorities getting notified after witnesses of the listing called to report it for potential malfeasance. The concern ended up in the parents facing a full-blown law enforcement investigation, and they were promptly taken into custody. The mother later claimed that it was simply a joke, yet police remained stern, putting the baby in state custody for a time. Investigators said, quote, "She said it was a joke. That's not clear yet. Detectives are investigating on suspicion of child trafficking." The mother was quoted in Bild newspapers saying, "It was only a joke. I just wanted to see if someone would make an offer. They've taken my son to hospital and I've got to take psychiatric tests next week." After a thorough inquiry, it seems the detectives came to the conclusion the family had no intent of actually trafficking the kid and the babe was returned to them. Social services would routinely visit them for a while after this ordeal to make certain that the kid was in good hands. But what about when trying to sell an infant online isn't a joke at all? In late 2016, 26-year-old John David Kane and 37-year-old Deanna Lynn Greer of Greenville, Tennessee, became parents to a newborn baby. It would become remarkably clear soon after, though, that these scumbags were unfit to raise a child. On March 24th, 2017, the couple made
got the worst mugshot of all time, bro. Got the lazy eye of motherfucking death, bro. What the
harrowing decision to put up an advertisement on Craigslist of all places, offering to sell their baby for a mere $3,000 sum. Of course, with this being highly illegal and literal child trafficking, the ad would pop up on the radar of local police, and on the same day of it being posted, the Greene County Sheriff's Office covertly set up a sting operation, feigning to be a potential buyer. They were trying to catch the couple red-handed. The soon-to-be traffickers agreed with the undercover buyers on a price of $3,000 and planned to meet with them at a Dollar General located on Asheville Highway. During the exchange,
same day, bro. Fucking L parents, bro. It's
officers expected to be met with a scam or some kind of elaborate hoax.
They sell deep-fried foreskin.
They didn't believe someone could be this stupid. But when they arrived, they were shocked to find that there was indeed a living and breathing 5-month-old baby boy in the vehicle. After making the trade, they were subsequently arrested by the undercover officers and taken into custody. They were put in Greene County Jail and charged with aggravated child neglect, child abuse, and illegal payment in connection with placement of a child. Both of them were held on a $150,000 bond. The baby was—
Man sells baby for GTA 6. Whoa, hold on. That's a different story, man. We're not talking about that though. Selling your baby for money is crazy, bro. And I feel like as a father, you failed. GTA 6 though. Let's not be too rash, child. Let's not be too rash, man. Like, come on, bro. Like, it's priorities, man. Priorities though, right?
Thankfully in good health and given to the Department of Child Services. It would also be revealed that John David Kane was facing charges in
act like they wouldn't sell their firstborn child, bro, for GTA 6. They can have it right now.
Wilmington, North Carolina for unrelated cases, which included embezzlement and 2 charges associated with a break-in at a local car dealership. There was an attempt by the couple's defense attorneys to argue that John and Deanna were merely trying to raise funds for adoption, and the $3,000 they requested were for family expenses, but the judge rejected the explanation. Later on August 1st of 2018, the couple would plead guilty and were sentenced to 10 years in prison. In their sentencing, the judge ordered that the couple must complete at least 35% of their term, which only equates to about 2.5 years. As a Tennessean, I'm embarrassed by this light sentencing. Like, these people should be facing 10 to 15 years if you tried to sell a kid. Now, with that segment out of the way, why don't we lighten things up a bit with a classic internet versus clueless mom story. When her sons destroyed the family bathtub by playing with Beyblades in it, she attempts—
Can you really blame them on that? Selling 8 Beyblades to replace destroyed bathtub. God, current bid 9. What the f? Putting up Juice WRLD numbers, bro. Can you really blame them on— Yo, why do you cry like shit? Hey, bro. You cry like in the photo, bro. Bro sad as— Yo, let them cook in the bathtub, bro. They just try to play some Beyblade, bro. It's cool, bro. It's cool, bro.
This effort catches the attention of Reddit and 4chan, and let's just say they weren't fans of her approach to parenting. In February of 2011, an outraged mom from Sewanee, Georgia, would come home to find her bathtub in shambles after her kids had been engaging in some heated Beyblade battles using the tub as an arena. Frustrated, annoyed, and looking to teach her kids a lesson, she confiscated the Beyblade toys. But she would take this punishment to even more questionable lengths after that. Posted on February 5th, 2011.
Why would she put them on eBay though, bro? This is the weird part about it, bro. Selling the Beyblades online is okay, but why you put your kids crying on the internet on eBay though, bro?
The mother, going by the username Danny21, created an eBay listing for the Beyblades. The listing included her sons, who were crying, holding up the bags of their prized possessions. She was awkward
for laughing at a crying kid. It's a canon event, bro. The reason why I'm laughing is that all of us got to go through it to become the person we're supposed to be, bro. So it's just a part of the process.
Auctioning them off. Well, not the kids, just the toys. Her post read, "We are selling 8 Beyblades. 2 of them light up. As you can tell, they're not happy about this. They've been using their bathtub as a battle arena. And Beyblades plus bathtub equals destruction. With the metal ones, they managed to scrape the enamel off the tub, take a chunk out of the tub, and break the soap holder. So if you win this auction, don't play with it in a bathtub. We received a quote of $500 to replace the tub, some tiles, and the soap holder, plus labor, of course. They had approximately 125.67 cents of piggy.
And he took everything out that motherfucking piggy bank.
That will be going towards the cost. We will use the profit from this auction towards the balance, and then it's on to other toys.
125, they lost their whole funding.
Now, considering
125 piggy bank money, bro, is like, that's like 10 bands, bro, for children, man. Them was hood rich.
Rather hostage-esque looking photo.
67 cents. She didn't even say that.
Oh
my god, bro. Oh my god, bro.
Auction towards the balance, and then it's on to other toys. Good luck bidding, PayPal only. Now, considering the rather hostage-esque looking photo and story behind this listing, it started to get a lot of attention on online message boards. A thread discussing it on Reddit's r/pic subreddit went viral, and commentary ensued. You can tell which one would survive in jail. That picture looks like something that kidnappers would send to police to verify that the hostages are still alive. There'd be a wide range of discussion in this Reddit post. Some were upset by the humiliation Dani was putting her kids through.
Bro, they were using Beyblades like snipers in anime. I'm not surprised that happened.
Others seemed to be on the side of the parents and felt the kids should have known better and that this was a justified punishment. One Redditor said, "These parents are pretty f***ed up. When you have kids, you have to assume collateral damage. You can't expect your kids to pay for stuff they messed up while being kids." Other Redditors sided with the parents. "You have no idea that maybe they've been destructive little bastards and have gotten multiple warnings that if they cause any more damage and continue playing rough, then..."
You think this is motherfucking like some crazy shit. Try motherfucking being at the family dance competition, bro, and you never have money like that to begin with because you don't have a job because you're only 8 years old. But then your aunt finally comes through and says, "Hey, join the family dance competition. We're gonna do a dance competition for a dance competition. If you win the dance competition and hit that little dance that I like that, then maybe I'll give you like $25 and like that." So you would do the competition, you fight for your motherfucking life, and you hit that, and then you keep doing that for like 20 minutes, and you do the motherfuckers until like those, right? And you keep dancing, you keep dancing, you keep dancing until you can't dance no more, man. And then everybody kind of drops out, and then you motherfucker got to give the money either off of pity or because you really, really hit that. But regardless, then you got to finally get the $25, and you feel like the man. You about to go to the dollar store and cop all the candy and chips you can because everything costs $1, so you should be able to get like 25 items with that. But then what ends up happening is your mom says, "Oh, you got money, let me go ahead and hold the money, I'll give it back to you later." And then you trust it because your mom and your mom, and you love your mom, and you love your parents, and you love your mom, and you never think that your mom will lie to you or to do anything different or take anything like she does on Halloween every year and like that, because you think that razor blades are going to be in candy when usually they're not in candy statistically. But then anyways, you motherfucking guy, you never get that $25 back. You look and you ask for the $25, and she said, "What $25? Stop asking me the motherfucking questions." Like, and then motherfucker guy starts to pivot and talking about "Oh, go do your homework. Don't ask me about $25. Go do your homework. Did you do this? Did you do this? Did you do this? I'm asking you for my $25. I'm asking you for my money back. I'm just asking you for my money back. That's all I'm asking for. I'm asking for my money back that I won through dancing. I don't get no money. I don't have a job. I don't get paid through nothing. I just want to go ahead and buy my own money and spend my own money and like that." So what I'm saying is that you gotta get over it, bro. Like, it's a canon event at the end of the day, bro. Like, it could be like, "Oh, they parents shouldn't do this or whatever." And to be honest, I think the parents shouldn't have posted them on eBay. But realistically, bro, it could have been worse.
There would be dire consequences. Kids need to learn the hard way about things.
Are you okay?
I think this is hilarious, and if I had told my kids and warned them 1,000 times...
My mom took $200 I got for my birthday. It's a evil world we live in, man. And stuff like that builds character.
...not to around or hit the fan, then I wouldn't feel bad punishing them. Plus, I mean, come on, they look about 7 or 9, old enough to start to know to follow directions. I don't get it either. It's not like the parent beat them for wrecking the tub. It's a valuable life lesson. If you destroy someone's property, you need to pay for it, which will cause you to have less money to buy what you want. Thanks to the absurd and contentious nature of this eBay post, it caught tons of attention, getting over 200,000 page views in a short time, and bids for the Beyblade started coming in. But the insanity truly starts when 4chan gets involved.
Oh,
4chan
chat
in particular that would turn up the dial on the shenanigans. Many 4chaners would alter and Photoshop the picture, create...
What the what's his name? Hydreigon? Unknown, and then what was this Pokemon name? I forget this Pokemon name, but it evolves into Exploud. This Pokemon's so I'm not gonna hold, bro. If you really unironically use this Pokemon, you're I'm not gonna capture you, bro.
Getting parodies of the children carrying illegal contraband in place of their Beyblade toys, each parody being more shocking than the last. Marijuana, severed body parts, sex toys, and uranium, you name it. But that wasn't all 4chan would do. They'd also start sabotaging the listing with fake offers, submitting dramatically increasing bids for the toys, leaving the mother shocked and confused.
On 4chan, bro.
Soon the bidding on the toys had increased in price to $10,000. And you can see in this picture that at one point it was all the way up to $999,999. Infinite money glitch discovered? Many users wrote trollish messages to the woman. An anonymous 4chan user wrote to her, "I work for a construction company specializing in refurbishing buildings for use as office space. My 2 children..."
4chan is such a very weird side of the internet. Because y'all imagine we had a 4chan com, and now that would be a weird...
...love Beyblades. I ran across this auction and was actually quite horrified. I mean, I'd never considered that we could use these things for stripping old buildings. Amazing when you consider my kids have been playing with them for a couple of years. Based on your own experiences, how many metal Beyblades do you think we would need to let rip to strip a 1,200 square foot warehouse? And how quickly would they accomplish the task? Yours in Christ. The troll would actually receive a response from Danny, stating, quote, "Do you plan to pay over $9,000 for the Beyblades, or is this a joke to you? Because this has been a problem all day and I'm going to report to eBay." eBay, discovering the blatant tomfoolery at hand, stepped in and removed the auction from their website, and the party was over. Danny's half-baked disciplinary plan had been foiled by internet users. Shortly after the removal of her listing, KnowYourMeme.com got in contact with Danny, who provided a rather irritated update to the outlet. "I wanted to let you know that eBay took the listing down because of all of the fake bids. We do not have the option to relist it. It did not violate any eBay codes, but we are undecided if we will. We have received several hundred emails in hours that we had the listing up. Most of the emails were not very nice, and I'm not sure if we are willing to deal with that again." Fortunately for the mother, Danny, 21, she would receive a lot of harassment that wasn't just trolling and jokes. She was reportedly doxxed, and her personal information was spread through the 4chan message board. Stuff like her workplace and employment, her first and last name, MySpace accounts, and Facebook. This was obviously taking things a bit too far, because now you're potentially putting the kids at risk by broadcasting their home address to the internet. I mean, wasn't the whole point of this kind of to spite the mom but have the backs of the kids? Come on, guys. Whatever the case, interest in this scenario soon waned.
I'm not surprised, bro. 4chan is just, I guess that's one of them. Especially prime 4chan. That sick word, bro.
And Danny learned her lesson. Never involve the internet in the punishment of your children. We've talked about selling a part of your body for cash online, but what about selling the body parts of others? This man, Cedric Lodge, was once the manager at a morgue. But not just any morgue. It was one that belonged to the prestigious Harvard Medical School's Anatomic Gifts program. The purpose of this morgue was to house and preserve various organs, tissues, and body parts donated to the medical school for research. And Cedric was responsible for overseeing and protecting this.
This drip is crazy. My got the Abraham Lincoln John Wilkes Booth drip, bro.
Invaluable collection. For many years, this corpse custodian did his job dutifully, but after learning of a devious money-making proposition, sinister inclinations took over. Upon learning of online black markets which pervade human body parts and tissues, Cedric thought to himself, "Who's gonna notice if I take a few?" Beginning in 2018, Cedric would take body parts from the morgue back to his place in Goffstown, New Hampshire, where he lived with his wife Denise Lodge. And these two would operate a black market network by selling cadavers on the internet covertly, making tens of thousands of dollars in the process. While on occasion Cedric would meet with his clients in person, more often than not, he would actually mail human body parts and appendages to his clients. That's weird. Something wet and squishy in this box. Probably just a salami. This disturbing scheme went on for many years, until members of the network played fast and loose in the cadaver gold rush, and got caught up with law enforcement thanks to the brazenness of their operation.
I don't know who was buying it, bro. I'm not gonna lie, the who are buying it need to be investigated, bro. They was probably doing some crazy with that. Yo, this look like, bro, you gotta get visited by the ghost of Christmas past, man. Yo, Cedric, why you got fits on like these, man? Like you about to do a jig throughout the town with a cane in your hand, bro. Like you're about to star in an 1876 play.
Cedric would be implicated by word of mouth, along with some receipts that he had left behind during his long transaction history of illicit deals. One PayPal receipt from the man was subpoenaed, which listed a sell transaction.
Head number 7 in brains? No, you ain't even try to make it look like secretive.
Titled Head Number 7 and Brains.
You might be Freaky Willy Wonka for sure, man. I'm not gonna lie, bro. For a change, we got brains. Sing that shit, bitch. Cadavers
On June 14th, 2023, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Middle District of Pennsylvania announced that Cedric and 4 other co-conspirators were arrested and indicted by federal grand jury on conspiracy and interstate transport of stolen goods charges. Harvard officials called the allegations an abhorrent betrayal and said, "It is with profound sadness and distress that we write to share with you that federal..."
He said brought them to his New Hampshire home. This must be the biggest crime in New Hampshire, bro. This the craziest story you heard in New Hampshire since whatever happened in the 1800s, bro.
Authorities have accused a former Harvard Medical School employee of having engaged in activities that are morally reprehensible. As you might imagine, the people and family members associated with the body parts that were involved in this black market scheme were devastated to know that their loved ones had parts, you know, sold that they wanted studied by scientists and researchers.
Sure, so why is it spelled Shire? Is the I silent?
Traumatic. In May of 2025, Cedric Lodge would plead guilty to trafficking in stolen human remains and faces up to 10 years in prison for his activities, shipping donor organs and cadavers to internet purchasers. Now we move to a cohort of individuals who haven't sold items or body parts per se, but rather an experience. Virginity auctions. Rosie Reed was an 18-year-old struggling student in London who was having...
Gang, this is... Yo, I'm not going to judge Shorty too fast, but this is essentially what girls be doing with their OnlyFans now, bro. As soon as they hit 18, I'm 18, down bad, OnlyFans.
Down in Tennessee.
Come on, man.
Hard time paying for her tuition and living accommodations while attending Bristol University in southwest England. She was facing close to £15,000 of debt and was getting desperate to remedy her cash problem. One day in early 2004, her and her at-the-time girlfriend were searching through their house to find any items that they could sell on eBay. And that's when she remembered her most valuable possession, if you will. Rosie thought to herself, "Hey, what if I auctioned off my virginity to the highest bidder?" She said, "We were complaining about being broke and wondering what we could flog on eBay that wouldn't cost us anything. We started off thinking about selling traffic cones, and then it came to me that I could sell my virginity. We had a bit to drink, and I ended..."
How did you come to that epiphany?
Ended up posting a notice on the website.
And you know she probably got like 100 plus. Bro, she probably got thousands, let me not say thousands, at least hundreds of bids, bro.
It was just a laugh at that stage. You see, Rosie was actually a lesbian, meeting her girlfriend Jess when she was 16. The woman had never experienced losing her virginity in a penetrative sense.
So you literally are going to go compromise your values and take the wee-wee, bruh, for a little bit of cash? Sound like some OF.
Yes. Her partner at the time, Jesse Cameron, was uneasy with this proposition at first, but came around to the idea of Rosie auctioning off her virginity, as it could help her out of this financial rut, so she would support the idea. And so what started as a joke became the real deal. Rosie posted her auction to eBay in January of 2004, writing, "18-year-old university student looking to sell virginity. Never lost it due to lesbianism. Will
y'all some boring lesbians get a strap on? What do you mean y'all never did no penetrative type? Get a strap on.
Free massage if you were any good. Picture on request." Immediately, the auction got a lot of traction, with over 2,000 responses from all over the world coming in. Now, obviously, eBay was having none of this and withdrew her listing very quickly, citing its sexually solicitive nature. But Rosie wasn't dismayed. She continued forward with the auction via her own website. The new website described Rosie as an 18-year-old lesbian with over 2,000 responses from all over the world coming in. Now, obviously, eBay was having none of this and withdrew her listing very quickly, citing its sexually solicitive nature. But Rosie wasn't dismayed. She continued forward with the auction via
Craigslist,
her own website. The new website described Rosie as an 18-year-old lesbian muff diver virgin and told bidders, "You are bidding for a prime piece, 18 years young, no previous owners. Ship..."
Yeah, the EDPs is doing the flight. This was happy seeing everybody. EDPs was ready, bro.
Shipping will be covered by the vendor. Item is non-refundable. This product may contain traces of nuts. It would be the...
What? Muff means cooch, I think. Oh, they gonna be like, this may contain traces of STDs, but it's your risk if you want to take it.
The girlfriend who stayed in contact with the highest bidders, talking to them on the phone and trying to work out a deal. And they would come to a final decision, going with someone who had offered 8,400 pounds. That individual was a 44-year-old engineer who was a divorced father of 2 named Tom. Rosie says, "We picked Tom because he seemed more normal and was keen to use a condom." The two would meet up some—
Yo, Tom, and they put your name out there and everything, bro. Like, they have your identity and everything. That's crazy. Tom probably wanted to be discreet. Yo, Tom, we know who you is now. You a freaky ass, bro. We gonna keep our kids away from you, buddy.
Sometime in March of 2004 at a hotel where they'd have dinner and, well, go through with the deal. After it was all said and done, Rosie Reed would speak to a media outlet, telling them that she found the process insanely awkward and, well, honestly traumatic. She told the newspaper, "It was horrible. I felt nervous and scared. I felt obliged to please him as he had just paid all of this money." She adds, "It didn't feel like it was happening to me. I felt like I was watching it happen to somebody else. The first time I felt really awful, as though I was a piece of meat. It wasn't painful,
said
but
weak ass stroke. I mean, shorty, you... I mean, I don't want to be this guy. I'm not trying to, like, victim shame or anything, but I mean...
I felt powerless and overwhelmed. I didn't want to have bad memories of the encounter, so I was determined to give it another try. This time I felt more in control. I enjoyed it much more." According to a report from The Standard, the woman and her suitor slept in the same bed that night, and in the morning they got up, hugged, shook hands, and parted ways. Tom has not been heard from since.
Yeah, Tom, I got you though, Tom. Tom, hold on, bro. I got you, bro.
Go easy on the young ones, my man.
Yeah, Tom, you a freaky ass, bro. I know what you are, bro. Tom, I know exactly what you are, Tom. I can't prove it because you're under legal jurisdiction, but Tom, I know exactly what you are, bro. And there's a reason why we haven't heard from him since.
Rosie reflects, "I got the impression that Tom was very satisfied with our night together. He'd always wanted to sleep with a virgin, and the fact that I was so young and a lesbian was a real fetish of his."
Yeah.
Apparently, while all this was going on, Rosie's girlfriend Jess was in a room nearby for safety measures. She said, "I was just so relieved when it was over. I was desperate to get back to Jess as I felt so uncomfortable." This incident, unsurprisingly, would spark something of an investigation because, well, it kind of seemed like prostitution, right? This investigation was initiated by the Avon and Somerset police, who looked into—
Is it not, though?
To it, deeming it a potential solicitation.
Is it not?
Though no formal charges were ever brought forward.
It is, right?
In May of 2004, it would be reported that infamous singer Madonna was working on a movie about the bizarre incident. However, nothing ever came of this. The media would catch up with Rosie months later, and she'd reveal that she didn't regret her decision, despite her initial testimony. "I really don't have a problem with what I did. It was consensual sex. To be honest, if anything, I exploited Tom by taking so much of his money. I would have probably done it for 2,000 pounds. That's still not bad for a night's work. Ultimately, I'd like to be a social worker, but first I'm going to join the police force and work as a liaison officer."
And now you are known in the history books as shorty who gave poom poom bruh to a 40-year-old man for a little bit of cash.
I want to help young people and show them the right way to live their life.
No, why motherfuckers always want to go ahead and do some highly promiscuous in the public eye and then talk about some? I think I want to teach the kids right. I want to do social work. I want to benefit the future. I really want to, like, I'm not trying to hold you to your past incidences. I understand down bad and need money like those, but why motherfuckers turn from, oh yeah, I'm gonna sell my butt for some money like those, and then talking about some, you know, I think I'm gonna go ahead and just teach people the right way to go. Like, what, bro? We gonna have King Von talk about gun violence now and gun safety? What the I mean, I guess, bro.
I'm fine in my head about it.
That one
I know how I feel, and I think I did the right thing.
So, Monty,
I don't think it'll affect my life or career prospects at all. Everyone will have forgotten about it by the time I look for a job as a police officer. And well, you made it to the end. Let me know what you guys—
Wow, bro. Well, I mean, at least she got her money, though, bro. At least she got her money. Like, that freaky ass, bro. We're gonna investigate you, buddy. I'm not gonna lie. Like, Tom, I don't know where you're at, buddy, but you know you're dead wrong. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. You're a freak. You're a freak, buddy. We're gonna go ahead and put those on the main channel. If you're all watching this on the main channel, Twitch, Blue Ride in the description. Come to the stream. Come to the stream. But yeah, all right, BBG. All right.